Hello, friends. I've always wanted to say that, right? Who doesn't? So, Ryan Carpenter here with No BS Golf, presented by P45 Knuckle Down Golf. And we got Friday at the Masters. I tell you what, down here in Georgia, nice day. It's just perfect. It's a little chilly, but, I'll take that over this Georgia heat because, man, when it gets hot here, it is brutal hot. And the gnats, I tell you what, you ain't experienced gnats until you've been to this part of the world, and probably other too, but it is awful. I almost want to stop playing golf all summer long because of these gnats. But anyways, beautiful day in Augusta. The boys are out rocking and rolling this morning, trying to get this thing finished before the cut, and we got a good shot at it today. We got real perfect day out there. So hello, friends. And anyhow, I don't have a lot of topics today. Spent a lot of time watching the Masters, of course, and didn't get to talking a whole lot of golf yesterday in terms of learning and development, instruction, all that kind of stuff. Definitely want to. So when anyone here in the region is ready for the evaluation lesson, you hit me up. Let's do this. Let's get started. And couple things, I guess, that did kind of catch my attention a little bit. Amateur. Shoot, I already forgot his name now. Lanto. I should know it better than that. Anyways, there's a great video clip out there. Lamprick. And it shows him walking through the clubhouse and seeing his locker and the crow's nest and all kinds of good stuff. And just a really, really cool insight to a lot of things about Augusta, and especially for a young man like that, getting his first kind of visit going. I definitely highly recommend watching that. It's we talk about it, and it's said and it's mentioned many times, but until you peel back every single layer of this thing, there is just simply no other golf tournament on the face of the earth that even remotely comes close to touching what they do down up there at Augusta National Golf Club. And it's you gotta really dive in. You gotta be really into golf. I mean, we all from a watching standpoint know what we got going on here, but man, you gotta dive in. And when you do, and you get lost in the history and the details and everything that's involved with this place, it'll capture your attention, and you go down that rabbit hole. It'll never end. I mean, I read things forever, about this place, and every year I still somehow find 5, 6, 7 new things that I did not know. And I've been told, because I don't have the experience yet, but I've been told that if you make it to the property, you get even more. So enjoy the week and take a pause. This is a tournament to take a pause and don't just watch the players. Look around. If you really look at the course and the setup and really pay attention to a lot of the things around the players, not the players, but around them, you're going to get a sense just from that alone at how different this place really is. And it's a fun week to just sit back and just put everything else aside and soak it in. So, anyhow. But, another thing that popped up was, boy, Bryson, man. Look at him going, blazing the trail out there, especially on the back nine yesterday. And, there's something to be said about, the rolling the ball back thing and all that. And I don't honestly agree with it because, well, first of all, here's the reality, folks. Here's where the no BS comes into play. We don't play the same game as the pros, period, the end. It's not true. Now, we like to have the fun notion that we can qualify for the U.S. Open and get into the same tournament as them once a year. One. And that's fine. And I'm all about that, and that's different. If you're chasing a dream of playing professional golf, then you are trying to play the same game as the pros. But the reality is, none of us play the same game as the pros. None of us even come close. We don't play the same equipment because the reality is that the clubs, the balls, everything that they get is different than what we get from the manufacturers. And they're going to tell you that's not true, but it is absolutely true. I've seen it with my own two eyes. First of all, I've spent time in the tour vans. We used to have them out to the creek and other places on a regular basis, and I've talked to those guys, and they're like, man, you ain't playing what they're playing. It's not even close. So, this whole notion that we got to play the same, no, BS. Roll back the ball. You want to bring the tour pros back first of all, here's the reality. We got all this amazing equipment and golf balls and golf clubs and things. Well, who's gotten better and who's gotten worse? Tour pros, not amateurs. Why is that? They know how to use that stuff. Most amateurs don't. And until the amateur goes through the evaluation lesson, they don't even realize. All three guys, after the evaluations here recently, oh, man, I didn't think I had that many things going on. I know. That's why we do that. You need a glimpse into what's going on. You need to understand what's actually happening. And, but they got all the skills, right? So as their skills and their abilities continue to get better, and then you continue to put better equipment in their hands, they're only going to get better, longer, better. And so, they showed the Bryson, all the drives yesterday. I think what was the shortest? Let me look here real quick. 299. That was his floor. And then, the top was 350? Yeah, I think 350. Well, there's a combination of things going on with the Bryson that you need to understand. Physically, he's a massive giant. He's just a big dude. And big dudes, if they learn technique, they got advantage over short guys. So, there's part of it. And, but yeah, better equipment with good skills. Well, Bryson took it to another level. And I came across some of Bryson's ideas, I guess you could call it. I don't know, about 15, 20 years ago. The whole idea that, okay, well, loft is the, change to distance, right? Okay, less loft, more loft, right? Okay, ball go higher, shorter. Ball go lower, farther. This is a basic idea, right? And so why would we're trying to create this repeatable swing, right? So why are we purposely changing all the length in all these dang golf clubs? I get it. If you basically take the general physics to it, a longer golf club can create more distance, right? That's kind of the whole idea. Sure, to some degree, until it gets to the point where the length cannot be controlled by the player. Okay, well, let's go another step further though. If you take the other part of the physics and math and mad scientist, Mr. Bryson, well, the reality is you're going to get more repeatability if you use the same length, though. And repeatability is the name of the game here, basically. Make it as easy as possible to do the same swing and get the results to come out, right? So, part of his approach, if you will, is that he's really dived into the math and he's figured out a certain level of understanding through the math of how to make this dang game a hell of a lot easier, because it's already hard as it is. And part of it is he also gains a heck of a lot of distance out of that equation because he has learned to, I guess the easy way to put it, mathematically stabilize the golf swing. And that's, I know, that ain't going to make a lot of sense to a whole lot of people. And it's kind of my opinion what he's doing, if you will. And not easy to do. Nothing really is. But if more players would accept some of the physics he's working off of, in my opinion, this game would be a whole lot easier. So, but, you can't punish him all you want. Whatever. I don't care. He's still going to be good. And the reality is that, okay, well, we take the distance out of the equation. they're already good at controlling the ball. You're not going to create these massive offline shots magically just because you change the golf ball, to some degree. You'd have to change it pretty much. I mean, you go back to like 90s ball and pre-90s. Yeah, okay, now we're talking. But then you're changing the game like so dramatically, it ain't going to look the same. And I don't think anybody's going to benefit from that. So I don't know. To me, it's a whole lot of BS. Just let them play. Like, they still got to hit the shots. They still got to navigate the course. But don't you dare affect my students. Amateurs already struggle mightily, and it's hard to get the distance out of the equipment. So there's no reason to roll nothing back for no amateur play. And I mean, well, let's put it this way. If you want to talk U.S. Open qualifying and USAM qualifying, if you want to talk collegiate players, okay, fine, whatever. But there is no reason to take your, majority of amateurs who are struggling out there already and say, hey, we need to reduce your distance because BS. So bifurcation, if you've heard that damn term, who gives a crap? Look, the reality is we play two different games. I don't care what anybody says. And anybody who thinks and says different is not true. So we already have bifurcation. And there's no reason, none, why we shouldn't have different equipment. And people say, like, baseball, okay, kids and high schoolers using metal bats, and then you change to a wood bat. There you go. Right? I mean, I don't know. I think there's different size footballs and there's different basketballs for different levels of play. I mean, the whole point is, I'll tell you right now, it's exactly why we don't start people at 7,500 damn yards off the tee. BS. You don't want to put somebody through that pain right out of the gate. Hey, come over here and play this game with me. It's really fun. Now, you're 7,500 yards. Good luck. It just don't make any sense. No, hell no. Go up to 25 yards. See if you can get up into that. See that hole in the ground? By the way, that's the goal. They don't even know yet. And if you ain't any good from 25 yards, what the hell are we doing from 7,500 yards? Like, come on now. So it's kind of the same thing. It's. I guess I did have something to talk about today, but yeah. When it comes to equipment, there's no reason not to have bifurcation, none whatsoever. And anybody has any argument about that, BS. They're just making it up. Just this delusional dreams of playing like a pro. Like, come on now, get out of here with that. I just don't. No. So, roll it back for the pros, but lay off the amateurs. There's no reason. Anyways, Bryson, he's doing some magical things out there. That's the more important thing. That was fun to watch, man. He's on fire. We'll see what he finishes up today. I'll tell you what, we need Tiger to kick it into high gear because he's got a shot at sticking around here. He's only 6 strokes back, something like that. I mean, keep him around for the weekend and keep him moving solid where he feel good. And we got a shot, folks, and we're not going to get many shots going forward. So, anyways, back to equipment real quick. That does remind me of something that most y'all players don't know out there. So, over the course of 20 years, anyways, 2 major things have changed dramatically. Driver, head side, like my 3-wood today is bigger than the driver I started playing golf with. What? Yeah. And my 3-wood today is about the equivalent size of the driver I played with in like roughly high school days, college maybe, somewhere around there. And now the driver is like 4 times as big as that. So we've created via corporate sales, by the way. Don't forget that part. talk to me about, oh, players getting too good. Stop it. Stop it. Corporate America has done this more than anything for the dollars. So let's just keep that in mind. But gigantic heads, right? Well, along with it, you take a golf club, right? And you put, if you've never heard of it, the Iron Byron is the machine that swings the club, and Ping was the one that invented it. Anyhow, everybody's got their own Iron Byron nowadays, but it's just a machine, right? It's got like an arm hanging down from like a rotary thingy, and you just clip the club in it and swings the club, right? And they can adjust it for every possible variation of striking a golf ball known to man. And but the key to understanding that thing is that's it. It's a robot. It's a robot programmed, which means you can program it to swing any club perfectly on whatever angles and whatever speeds and whatever impact. Well, here's the thing. As human beings, you have limitations. I don't care who you are. Now, you got this Lamprecht fellas he's like 8 foot tall. Okay, different ball game. But you know, the average of you out there, like me, you're not that 8 foot tall, you know, super young athletic fella no more. And what's happened with this club head size is they snuck in something and they didn't really tell you about. Driver length has just gone but freaking bananas, like 4 inches longer than what it used to be. And I'll tell you right now, that's absolute insanity, because we know the average player hasn't gotten taller, strong, maybe the tour pro, but not the general Joe public guy, ain't grown to massive. And even the taller guys, they got long arms, which means that extra length ain't even important for them to some degree. But I know this. If you start taking players and you give them these new lengths that I hate the word standard, but today's standard, which is garbage, no such thing as standard, by the way. Most players, if you teach them to try to swing, you know, on the, I call it pattern, the pattern we want, the path, you've heard path probably more, fine, whatever. I hate the word path. I hate the word plane, whatever. On plane, and squared up, release it good, turn and rotate, all the good things you want to do. Physically speaking, most amateurs can't actually do that with a 46-inch damn driver. And if you try to get them to do it, here's what happens. If you zoom in on impact, you're like, okay, I'm going to have you do this, this, this. Because of the length of that damn driver, if they don't change posture, the club shoots out way past the golf ball and it can't make contact, which means they got to adjust for it. And what happens is most amateurs end up losing posture, standing up straight and tall right at impact, looking like they're jumping out of their damn shoes. And it's common. Almost every amateur does it to some degree. And the vast majority of them do it horribly, and it affects their games. And that damn length of that driver, I will swear till the end of my time, the last 20 years of increasing these freaking driver lengths has done this to people, and it's BS in my opinion. The average player cannot handle 46 inches. But they need it in a machine measuring off the tee at 330 with one swing in order to advertise the hell out of it that way. And BS, folks. I'm going to tell you right now, the only thing you should do, even if you're not a good player at this stage, is at least get fit for your driver properly. Because hands down, most people out there are playing way too long of drivers. I get, big old Bryson there, man. He probably playing 46, and he might be past 46. I don't know. He can make it work because he's got two big things going on. He's a big, tall fella. He's got a unique approach. He's playing more of a single plane theory golf swing. Don't worry about that crap right now. But he's using science. He's got strength. He's got height. He's got a lot of factors going into it that allows him to properly use a 46-inch driver. Most of y'all can't do that. I can tell you that right now. And I've had a long time doing this now to experiment with this a little bit to some degree. You didn't know that, some of my students. You done well though. And I got people fit into. I always think of this this great lady I worked with. She was a dream student. I don't know. She came to me when she was about 60, probably somewhere in that range. I don't know. And a little short gal, and just firecracker. Loved her. Anyways, we're working on a lot of stuff, and I finally kind of look at her. I'm like, hold the phone here. Give me that driver. I look at it. I'm like, what? This ain't gonna work. And if you think about it, she's about the height of a junior, right? Or some juniors. And I'm like, if you had a grandchild about 10, 12, 13 maybe, I don't know, would you be putting them into a regular length, golf club probably? And she's like, no, probably not. I said, yeah. I said, why in the world we got you out here trying to wield this? I'm like, no wonder you can't make no contact with your driver. You got a great golf swing now. We've been working for a while. And I said, get that club out your hands. And I went and grabbed an old, well, not an old, it was new, but it was a fitting driver that I had custom made by Ping. Right there, best company in the planet, baby. And, it's about good, probably 6 inches short of standard, I think. Lady standard. So, it was a junior driver, basically, I mean, for the most part. And I'll tell you, within just a couple swings, all of a sudden, she was like, so much easier. And I'm like, I know, because it fit you. And so we eventually went through a whole full session of fitting and whatnot. And I had to call my rep, Craig, back in KC, and I said, look, I'm putting in this order, but just, me, man. You know how this works. He's like, nah, I'll push it through. No worries. And it was the first time, maybe ever, I don't know. Ping could tell us, I guess. But I had a whole set of custom Ping golf clubs made for this lady, and everything was about anywhere from 2 to 4 inches short. Driver was more like 6, short of standard, of ladies. And I'll tell you what, it took about 2 months. She came back, and she wasn't no happier in her entire life than she was with this set of golf clubs. Why? Because it had nothing to do with the fact that she was 60 years old. It had nothing to do with the fact that she was a lady, an adult. The pure and simple fact was the math didn't make no damn sense for her. So, lady standard BS didn't fit her. And so we decided to make our own thing. And it worked beautifully. So, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to get fit, now I will say this, so I just had this conversation as well, so let me just, number one rule of thumb in club fitting, you get started, you ask the questions, you have them start hitting shots, and you see inconsistent ball flight. You stop. You say, hey, look, player, I'm going to make this statement first. You should be fit, however, you should get a little more consistent first. We need some consistent ball flight in order to measure this accurately and actually come up with a proper fit. What do you think? You want to take some lessons to get better first? No. Okay, here's what's going to happen. All we're going to do is try to narrow this down as best we can, but without accurate ball flight, there's no accurate measurements either. So, which means we're just kind of playing a guessing game, so we'll try to get you as close as possible, okay? But knowing that this club ain't going to fit 100% because you're going to have a bunch of things happening every time you swing a golf club, which is going to change ball flight, right? So just be aware. And so if you are going to get fit and you are inconsistent, the number one reason I would do it is A, for length, to make sure that the length's not actually forcing you into bad habits. Second is grip size. That's another problem. I do not have Bryson and Bubba hands, man. I got short fingers for a male compared to palm size. I don't have big long fingers, and just in general, I don't have big paws. So I play an entire size up, bigger than men's standard. BS with the standard shit, by the way. Sorry. One size up. These guys have got baseball bats in their damn hands. When you see their golf clubs for the first time and you look at those grips, baseball bats, folks. Why is men's standard this tiny-ass little toothpick? It's bizarre. So, length of driver, hands down. Probably 3-wood as well. The rest of it I'm not as concerned with, but it probably needs to be shorter too. Grip size need to be absolutely changed for the vast majority of y'all out there. Shaft flex, fine. Okay, lie angle, some degree. Again, you start to get into the other details that they like to talk about, and then you start throwing math up on a damn screen with numbers. And look, if you ain't got a consistent ball flight, those numbers don't mean near as much as you think they do. Let's put it that way. So, that being said, stop with the rollback, first of all. Second of all, fit for the right reasons. Club fitting should be done in conjunction with instruction and development and learning how to hit a golf ball. If you're fitting and you don't have that background, I got news for you. BS. You have to take into account what the player's doing. And if you don't, you're doing a disservice to your people there. And I get it. Club fitting's part of the sales process now, and that's the damn worst thing that we ever did in the business when it comes to these manufacturers, tools and shit. So, yeah. But no wonder Bryson's hitting a 355. He's got everything matched. He's got the club. He's got the math, the speed, the height, the everything's. And he spent a lot of time figuring out that science. So, anyways, that's enough for today. I'm gonna get going here. Probably got noise in the background, anyways. Let's get y'all in for some lessons here, folks. Let's get some people changing. I got my first 3 going, and I'm excited. I'm gonna see, I think, each of them next week or coming up here soon, and see how they've been doing since the evaluation lesson. Schedule that evaluation lesson. It's free right now. Why not? Look, I just want y'all to come in and see the facility. www.thegolfpub.com, by the way. Great new facility here in town. And, come see me. Let's talk. Let's figure this out. And, by the way, if you're not in the area, we can do this all via FaceTime, Zoom, and videos and whatnot, on the good old web. So, just let me know. That's the most important thing. Let's talk. So, for now, enjoy the Masters. Man, it is beautiful out there. It's looking great. I can't wait to get outside myself. So, Ryan Carpenter signing off. No BS Golf. Take care, folks.